I could hear myself, but you couldn't hear me. How crazy is that? Because I have the things on. You guys, this is me and the mute button. We got to figure that out. All right, so hopefully you can hear me now. Y'all, you know what? We can't even have a Sunday live without me being muted, right? It just wouldn't be right any other way. Anyways, hi. How is everyone doing this evening? I am Eve with the baby's booty. And tonight we are going to do some sublimation. Yay! I love sublimation. It's a lot of fun. So you're going to hear clicking off camera. I was trying to, you were supposed to click on cue, darn thing. Okay, well, okay, you heard the click. You're going to hear those clicks just like that. So don't pay it any mind. It's my heat press. For whatever reason, it's very loud. I have a separate heat press. Let me see if I can show that to you guys. It's over here off to the side. So I have this little bitty heat press that I got from off of Amazon. And this is the one where you can change out, oh Lord, my broom. You can change out the top part. So we can do a heat press, we can do a plate press, we can do a mug press, and we can do a hat press with this. It's one of those 5-in-1 type ordeals. So I decided to bring that out of the studio and set it up in here, and we're going to, oh my God, that's weird. I can't win, y'all. We are going to play with that, and as you can see, it's got dust on top. So let us take care of something. Sorry if I got an echo. Let me check something real quick. Let's see. Okay, hopefully I'll figure this out, because otherwise I'm not sure. Let me see if this fixes it. Nope. Did that fix it? Let me know if that fixed it, and let me know if that works better, because I can't tell. So let me know if that's better. All right, so we're going to be doing sublimation. All right, and the cool thing with tonight's show is we are actually going to do the sublimation from the design phase all the way through. And I have some really cool graphics that I wanted to show you guys. And I'm going to be using Photoshop, but you can use any graphics program, should work for you. Okay, so oh, excuse me. Let us get over into the chat. At least that's something hopefully I can do properly tonight. In the chat, one of the things I like to do is say hi to everyone that's here. Before we get into the chat, we also have a group on Facebook that you're more than welcome to join. As long as you agree to the rules, you can join. And it is free of charge. We also have a group, as you see, thebabiesbooty.com down below my video, and you can go to that website as well in order to join the forums that we have there. And that's free. And in both groups, you can share images of the products that you've been working on, because we do like to see a lot of the projects that you've been working on. And it encourages all of us to get our groove in and go ahead and get some work going. So without any further ado, let me go into our chat and say hi to the folks that have joined us, because without you guys, we wouldn't have a channel. So let's say hey to Miss Tanya. How are you doing this evening? Thank you for joining us, and thank you very much for being a YouTube Hoop Group member here on YouTube. Sheila Cushionberry. Hey, Miss Sheila Cushionberry. Inspiration Creations from Canada. Welcome. She says she sold so many makeup removal pads this week. Thank you so much for last Sunday's tutorials. That's awesome. Now that is totally awesome to know, because that's one of the things I do like to do, is show you guys some of these products so that you can use them in your businesses and make some extra money. I mean, why not? especially if you're already in the business of trying to earn a little bit of income, or make some really cute gifts for family and friends. So thank you, Lori, for letting me know that. And if you guys haven't seen that tutorial last week, definitely check it out. It's showing you how to make that makeup pad from start to finish on video, showing you even my screen and what to select and how to get it set up. Please follow that closely. And I'm glad everybody, I think except for maybe one person, was able to go ahead and get that done from the tutorial. So thanks, and I appreciate you letting me know that. Dab Prince, hello, how are you? Welcome. Ms. Dorothy Gaston is here, welcome. Shirley Stewart, welcome, and thank you for being a YouTube Who Group member. I really appreciate that. Scooby-Doo is here. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a YouTube Who Group member. I really appreciate it. Diana Henderson, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Mary Brown, welcome. Thank you for joining us as well. Miss Leela Nelson, thank you for joining us as well this evening, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I really appreciate it. Miss 143, thank you very much for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. She says, all love being here. It's my sanity on Sunday evenings. Well, I'm glad you got your sanity tonight. Mine is all over the place. So hopefully we'll get through our show tonight without any more hiccups. We'll see. So Crafty, hello, welcome, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Thank you for joining us. Miss Andrea Ross as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And I love seeing the video of Cinnamon enjoying the snow rather. That's really awesome. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member and for joining us this evening. Let's see, Shamira Customs, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Carmen Alvarado, thank you so much for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. And thank you for being here. Let's see, Cheryl Melton, thank you for trying to let me know. That's crazy. Beverly Smith, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I really appreciate that. JB Swift, sorry about that. I'm glad we got our volume back on. I appreciate it. EJ's daughter in the house, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Let us see. Faye Wood, hello. Cheryl Melton, hello. Miss Lady D, hello. How are you? Simone Langley, welcome. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Alberto Zavala, welcome. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for encouraging folks to click the like button. Yvonne Hudson from Cali, welcome. Ray Williams, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member, and welcome and thank you for joining us. Treasure Designs LLC, welcome. Thank you for joining us live. I do appreciate that, and we always love having folks here. It was only an echo when you moved the camera to show the HP. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know that. So we won't be fooling with the heat press camera. Probably, we'll see. I don't know. Hey, Sonia Siegler, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let us see. Karen Murray. Hey, Miss Karen Murray, and Me Creatively by Kim. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Angela, hello. Allison Holloway, thank you. Welcome. Let us see. Borcua Sewing and Crafts. Hey, Sugar, how are you? Thank you for joining us. If you guys wanted to check out another embroidery channel, her channel is awesome as well. She has some great tutorials on her channel, so definitely check her out. Laverne Miller, she says, love using Sew Up Pro, making Valentine's and Christmas masks. Man, I am up to here with mask making. So I don't want to talk about, I don't even want to talk about masks, man. Had me heated. Trying to make all these darn masks. I'm about sick of them. Shouldn't say that though, because I mean, you know, any bit of income is better than nothing. Christine, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Lisa Osborne, Angelia Baker, Willa Allen, Kathy Shorter, Jeanette Davis, Jackie Maddox. Hello to all of you. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. Ms. Carol Coleman, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Appreciate you being here with us. Weddings Designs, good evening to you as well. Jackie Hicks, Harmony Ling been tearing the mask up, man. She's been doing a great job with hers. Mama Dula, Simone Warren, Embroidery Diva. Hello, how are you all this evening? Thank you for joining us. Harmony says she tired of masks too, but these people won't let it rest. I mean, and honestly, because we still need them, I get it. I really do. But I think because what I've been doing is the ones where they're pleated and I have to iron and hand pleat each one. that's where I'm just like really over it, because I'm not a fan of ironing as it is. Not a fan of ironing as it is. So to actually sit there and iron each one is, I'm over it. I'm over it. Barkira, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Nice Soulful Creations. Happy Sunday to you as well. So it's 9:14, but I kind of want to go ahead and get started because I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I'm actually hoping that everything is going to do what it needs to do and we won't have any issues, because I'm going to be using Adobe Photoshop in the background. So hopefully we won't have any staggering and whatnot going on with our video tonight. But I'm really excited because I found some really cute designs on Creative Fabrica. Okay, Creative Fabrica, I've talked about them before. I've referred you guys to them before, but I pretty much just show images of their fonts and stuff on Facebook, or I may mention it here on the channel, but we actually haven't taken the time to create something completely with Creative Fabrica, so to speak. So I wanted to, especially from a graphics standpoint, so I want to show you what all you can find on Creative Fabrica. I think one time we did just like scroll through the site, but I'm going to cut this heat press off for a moment because that clicking is like annoying. And we're not ready to sublimate just yet anyway, so we're going to let that sit off to the side. But what we're going to do is go to the computer part first and go through some designs that I found that I was just like, oh my God, this is like really, 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 really cute. And I think it's going to make some really awesome designs that you can put on items if you're doing sublimation that you'll be able to sell. Now, keeping in mind, sublimation is pretty simple to do. The thing is just knowing the time and the temperature of things that you're going to sublimate. For the most part, you're looking at about 400 degrees, 385 to about 400 degrees to actually sublimate. The item that you sublimate has to be polyester. Okay, it has to be polyester based, because the polyester material or the polyester itself is what absorbs that ink when it's superheated and the ink turns into a gas and it imposes an image. You know, just that image goes over to the item that you're sublimating. So one of the common things, if you've never done sublimation before, you're just getting into sublimation and you want to give it a shot, before we get started, I just wanted to show you, this is one of my favorite things I like to tell people to go get from Dollar Tree. If you want to practice sublimation, you don't have to do anything at all to these. They're already 100% polyester. So you just need to make sure you got sublimation ink in your printer. All right. And make sure that when you print out your design, if it has words, you reverse the design, you mirror it, and then press it onto this towel, 385 degrees for 60 seconds, and you're good. Actually, you can probably get away with 30 seconds with these because they're kind of thin, and they're already made out of polyester. So you get 4 to a pack, as you see, and far as I know, Dollar Tree still sell them 4 to a pack, and you get 4 opportunities to make something really cute and practice and have some fun with it. So I just wanted to show that real quick. If you wanted to just try sublimation and see if you can do it. I've made washcloths for my grandsons with their names on it. You know, just something whimsical that each kid can call their own. So you could practice even doing that. All right. So we're going to, it's not eco-friendly. It is eco-friendly from the standpoint of once you sublimate it, it turns into a gas and it attaches to the rag. You can bleach it. It doesn't come out. So it's not like you're going to be washing ink down the drain when you wash it in the washing machine. It's permanent on the item that you're sublimating. Now, I wouldn't stand over the top of the heat press and breathe in those fumes. No, I wouldn't do that. And then you also have to understand that technically even using the heat press isn't eco-friendly because you're using a large amount of electricity, which is a lot of resources. That's equivalent to having your oven turned on and not baking anything, because usually we're not pressing back to back to back to back to back. So eco-friendly for something like this really isn't something I would apply to actually doing this whole process. Is more for not whimsical gifts, but memorial gifts, gifts that are meaningful. And unfortunately, you know, there's a price that has to be paid in using materials like this anyway. So, but at any rate, let us go. Your pictures come out dark. That sounds like a printing problem, Carmen Alvarado. Meaning when you print it out, it sounds like it's too much ink that's going on your image. So I would definitely do practice first, like do a picture on something like this, not a mug. You know what I'm saying? Take the same image that you're going to put on a mug, press it to this, see what it looks like first before you put it on a mug, because mugs are a lot more expensive than 25 cents, right? So before you start on a really large project, if you've been having issues with your images printing out properly, test it on these. You can even take one of these and cut it in 4 if you have to, you know, save some of this, or press on one end and then press on the other. You know what I'm saying? Test out your stuff. The same thing I say to do with embroidery. Test it out on something cheap first, then switch over to your expensive stuff. So that way you don't have to worry about wasting resources, because that's definitely not eco-friendly. But at any rate, hey, Miss Bickham, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for coming in with us, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Let us see. I'm going to go back to the chats really quick. Be careful in your snowstorm in NYC, Miss Mama Doulas. Everyone else, it's in a snowstorm area. Please be careful. Rebecca Ricketts, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Cassandra Laws, love your name. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. AJ Silveri, hello. Latoya Cherry. She said, don't even mention the word. Don't even mention the word mask. I know, right? It's just like, really? Sean A, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Shonda Smiles Willis, good evening. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for being a YouTube group member. Sandra McElwain, good evening to you as well. The polyester items, Alberto, I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, you can't sublimate unless it is a poly-based substance. Now, we will be showing you a way to create sublimation on an item that's not poly-based, but you're still adding some poly to it. So it's, you know, that's going to be an issue anyway with sublimation. Have you thought about pleating the mask, then heat press a group of them at one time versus ironing? When I try to pleat without ironing, you know, like I pleat one at a time with the ruler to make sure that all of the pleats are exactly the same size. And I guess I could probably pin them along the sides until I actually take it to the heat press. But to me, it's faster just to run the press over it. I don't know. I'm just over it. I'd much rather get the blank face mask and sublimate what these folks want on the mask. But I have a group that they're really, really particular, and they love that pleated mask. So that's where it's just like, really. But at any rate, let me go. Can you use an easy press? Yes, you can, Sandra McElwain. As long as that easy press can get to about 385 degrees, you should be good. Nina Walk, hello, how are you? What gloves do you recommend for sublimation? Any kind of heat resistant gloves will be fine, any of them. You could even use an oven mitt if it came down to it, but definitely something to protect your hands would be good. I'm hard-headed a lot of times. I still don't get nothing to protect my hands. But at any rate, hello, Miss Debbie D. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. First, last. Hey, how are you? Hopefully the sound will be better for you this evening. We made a change. It's Tokyo. Hello, my dear. How are you? Stay safe. Karen Murray says, I pleat, I fold in half, then fold each to the middle and heat press. You're pleating, if I'm understanding you correctly, 2 different ways, and all of the pleats that I've been doing all go down the same. It's crazy. T. Moore, hello. Do you have a video on Sew It Pro cost and what products are offered? I have a video on Sew It Pro. Sew It Pro is $65. No matter where you get it from, that's the cost. If you see it less anywhere else, I wouldn't buy it, because they don't want us to offer it any less than what they sell it for. We're regulated with how much we can sell it for. And the products, there are no products that come with Sew It Pro. It's Sew It Pro. Now, there are other programs that complement Sew It Pro, but they're separate programs. And each one of those I do have on my website. If you go to my website, which is down here, thebabiesbooty.com, and click on Sew It Pro, and you'll see the list drop down of all the others. There's Sew Icons, there's Sew Art, there's Sew Cat. All of those are listed there, and you can read the description of what all they do on the website. Look forward to the lives with bated breath. Well, I appreciate hearing that. Thank you very much. All right, so your continuous ink system stopped pulling from the tanks. I refilled the cartridges and now they aren't being recognized by the printer. I feel like screaming. There is a CISS stop. Okay, and you've reset the cartridges and they're still not being recognized. Make sure you're holding down that reset button for at least 10 seconds. And that would be the way to help make sure that they're being recognized. But we'll have to discuss that a little bit later, I think, because I'm trying to think of a video that will help you with that. And we'll go forward from there. Okay. We'll have to walk through that together. So getting into sublimation, I want to show you all, let me get to here and show you what I've been hanging out with today. Let's see. All right, cool. So I'm going to switch you guys over to the website. This is Creative Fabrica. And I've shown you guys Creative Fabrica before, but in this instance, I wanted you to see some really cool things that they have to offer. And there is a link in the description below to the files that I will be using in our designing tonight. Whether or not I have a link to a main link to them or not, I don't know. I'll check really quick and put a link if I don't have one here shortly. But let's scroll through so I can show you what all I've found tonight, because they add stuff all the time, every day, every second. There's new designs, and it's overwhelming if you let it be. So if you come here, first of all, I'll try and get that link up there so that you can have the all access subscription. For the first month, only $1, and I think after that it's only something like 19 bucks or something for. I will put all that link up there. But they have fonts, they have graphics, they have crafts that you can do. They have embroidery designs. Love those. They have tools that you can use, bundles, and the actual subscription. You click on subscription, and all access is $29 a month. They also have the crafts, which is $12 a month, fonts, which are $19 a month, or graphics, which are $19 a month. So they do have licenses. All of this stuff comes with a commercial license. All of it. Whatever you buy, it comes with a commercial license, which is why I do like these folks so much, because the people who sell their or allow them to sell their designs and fonts and graphics and stuff, they allow a commercial license. So whatever it is that we come across on here, we can put it on items to sell. That's why I like them. So if we come over to graphics, notice they have all these different types of graphics available, right? Quilting patterns, sewing patterns, product mock-ups. Mock-ups are phenomenal. Logos, illustrations, backgrounds, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to go to illustrations, I believe is where I went. Yeah, illustrations. So let's click there. And these are so adorable. Okay. Here's one, mother and children. The mom with the kids. I wish I could blow this up bigger. But here, the mom with the kids. Let me see if I can blow this up, actually. Let's zoom in some. There we go. So that y'all can see this better. This is adorable. Love the unicorn. These are the ones that are really, really, really hot and popular right now. The best friends clips, where you get the different ladies and you can choose your own ladies and put them together. And we're going to do a design today. I'm going to show you how to do that today with Photoshop. In the same way I do it with Photoshop, you should be able to do for the most part with other programs too. But these are some gorgeous designs. Okay, so you got this one for children. You got watercolor safari for kids, retro sun. All of these can be sublimated on canvases, cups, mugs. Um, I mean, if you can sublimate it, you can sublimate any of this stuff. They even have this, like this mega sublimation bundle is $6. And look what all it comes with. It has 24 sublimation designs. I want to be a nice person, but everyone is just so stupid. I mean, look, paramedic, something for paramedic, having a deja vu. You know, it's just really cute bundle of graphics that you could use and make money off of. But again, the hot things that are going on right now are these images of the people. So like a mother and a daughter with a little girl holding a balloon. Those are really cute. Couples, which should be hot for this month coming up. You got couples like the man and the woman, and you can pick and choose your people. Switch over to page 2, best friends. Here's another type of best friends clip art. Another type of best friends clip art. This is adorable. Look, the mom in her heels, and then the little kid, little baby steps between right there. I absolutely love these, y'all. Look, mother and baby animals. Another set of best friends. It's just, if you look, the father holding the children. It's just amazing what all they have. This one I thought was super cute. The just married car, and then the husband and the wife in the car in the just married. So you can put that however you want. Also, if a lot of these, like I'll show you in the one that I purchased, they come with the body and they come with the head. The head is separate, so you can change the hair, right? Well, the hair options that they offer with some of their packages may not be what you like. And you might like two braids for your best friend. She wears her hair in 2 braids all the time. That's not an option maybe in this package here on the one that you purchased. Well, you can buy extra right here, hairstyles. And look, they even have pink and green, other colors that you can add to it. I absolutely love how well they have this set up. And look, if you want to do tumblers, they have tumbler templates already laid out for you. Okay, digital papers that you can print. Look, best friend sitting on the back of the VW Beetle convertible. I love these. The prices are awesome, but if you're members, I think they're less or something like that. It's been a while because I let my membership expire. I need to re-it back up. One that I found that was adorable is, look at this one, mother and daughter, or mom and grandma with the gray hair. Adorable. Absolutely love that. That would be a perfect present for your mom or your grandma or your auntie. Doesn't matter. I just love this stuff. Look, the family at the beach is really cute too for families. Doggies, you can add doggies, and we'll be looking at that today. And they even have the one with the doggies with the wings if you wanted to. Absolutely love it. Where is it? More hairstyles. They even have curvy best friends over here. And when I tell you, you could, oh, here's some more hairstyles. I probably should have got those, but I didn't because I do like some of those haircuts. But if you get into looking at these graphics, I promise you, you will be here for a while. I mean, it could easily translate into hours and scrolling through all these graphics because they just have that many, right? More best friends. I love this one with the family and the names on the backs of the shirts, all of that jazz. Cats, they even have cats instead of just dogs. I'm trying to find the one that I purchased. This was cute. Doctors, nurses, and scrubs clip art. Bridesmaid. That's really cute. The doctors and nurses actually is adorable. That would be a great present for someone if you know them in their medical field. Here's the one that I purchased. So right here is the couple on the bench. I thought this was beyond adorable. And you can even add the names on the back of the bench, or you can do the back of the bench that doesn't have any names on it. And it comes with, here are the people, here are the men, the men images. Here are the women's images that you can choose from. So this person has already designed all of this in here with the shirt. So like you can't change and pick your own shirt out of hers, but there could be an add-on somewhere that you could find. And then here's the hair that this particular graphic offers. So here's the hair options. So we're going to play with this one today. All right. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So I have Photoshop right here. It's already pulled up. And I'm going to create a new design. And I'm going to pick 17 by 11. That's usually the size that I fool with the most whenever I do my graphics and such. I'm going to zoom in some as well so that you can see better. And what I'm going to start with right now, this is a blank canvas. And we are going to go ahead and I'm going to set this to sublimate on our little canvas, right? So this canvas, I want to say I got this from Dollar Tree. And this is what it looks like. It's a 2-pack from Dollar Tree. And if you go in their new craft section, you can get 2 of these canvases for $1. And these are 5 by 7. Okay, so we definitely want to make sure that our design doesn't go larger than 5 by 7. Now I'm going to start out with it larger than 5 by 7 only so that you can see it better as I'm working with the file. Okay, so let's go into our file and we're going to place embedded is the way we're going to start adding our graphics. Okay, so I'll go place embedded, and then I've already opened up this file before, but it's on my computer. It's the couple on the bench. Now again, this particular design that we're working with today, the couple on the bench, is in the description below. I have a link directly to this design. Okay, so you can go in under the description to get this specific file. I already put the link. I know it's there. So you don't have to search for it unless you just want to. So the first thing we're going to do is put the background, because they're on the bench at the beach, right? So they have the background already here. So we're going to click on place and we're going to add it here to our desktop. And I'm going to click on the check mark to commit to having this design here. Right now, let's see if it's going to let me know. It's in pixels. I need to learn how to change my measurements because the pixels, oh, here we go. Inches, there we go. So right now in inches, it's saying 11, almost 12 by 10. That's way too big, but there's a lot of extra white space. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this in some. What did we say this was? 5 by 7. So I'm gonna let it be right here at about 9 by 7, something like that. Let me make sure other size. Okay, so here is our background. Actually, I told y'all I was gonna make it bigger so that you can see it better, right? Didn't I say that? So I'm gonna make it bigger so I can make sure that you can see this really well as we work with it. All right, check mark to leave it there on the screen. So now we have our background. Let's put the bench on the screen. So I'm gonna go back to place embedded. Now this is how I do it. I'm sure there's a much easier way or whatever. I'm pretty decent at Photoshop. I'm not experienced, 100% expert at. I'm not an expert at all actually in Photoshop, but I'm pretty decent at it. So here is the bench, couples clip art bench. So I'm gonna click there and I'm gonna hit place, and I'm gonna drop it down onto the sand. Okay, and I actually want a little bit of the water peeking through down there, so I'm gonna click OK. Look how simple that is to put a bench on the beach. So if you just wanted a picture of a bench on the beach, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. But we want to put people on this bench, right? So let's go back to file. And now we're going to place embedded again. And now I'm going to put the lady on the bench. Okay, so I'm going to pick, I don't like that striped shirt for myself, so we're going to go with a plain white shirt, only because I'm picky. Okay, so here's the person. All right, now notice she's behind the bench. She's not sitting on it. So in order to put her in front of the bench, we actually have to come down here to the lower right hand corner and rearrange this so that she comes before the bench. Okay, so I need to click, hold it down, and drag it down below the bench. So I'm going to grab her and drag it down and let go, and now she's sitting on the bench. Okay, now she's sitting a little bit high, so I'm going to pull her down some. And there we have our person with no head sitting on the bench. So now let's go back up to file and let's give her some hair, or her head, put her head there, and we'll place embedded again. And here are the different hair options. Now they are showing black all around them because these are transparent, right? So that, you know, the hair and all of this extra space doesn't show up and then cover up our whole background and everything. So they're transparent. So that's why it's showing black, just in case you didn't know. But here are the different hairstyles that are available. All right, and I'm going to give her this light brown hair, and we're going to click on place. And here is her hair, and notice she has a huge head. That's not going to work for us, so we'll resize it. So we'll grab this corner up here and drag it down till it looks like it's about the size we need it to be. And I like this because, say for instance, a person has a skinny profile, you can, you know, make her slim, or if she's a bigger profile, you can make it bigger. It's up to you. So I'm going to put her hair there. I've resized it and set it on her shoulders. Oh Lord, I just threw her head off to the side. Hold on. All right, there we go. And so now that's my person. Here is our person. So she looks cute, but she's sitting on this bench all alone. We just cannot have that at all. She has a heart on this bench, for Christ's sake. So we need to put a dude here with her. So let's go ahead and click on File, Place Embedded, and let's get us a guy. And we have guys here in the blue shirts, black shirts, camo shirt. Not feeling the camo, but I guess camo can be romantic if you look at it a certain way. But we're going to let them match because I know my husband and I often match when we go out, so we're going to let them match. So here's the guy. We're going to click on him with the white shirt, and I guess it's okay to have white shirts at the beach. And we're going to set him on the bench right here beside her. I don't know why her legs look so much longer than his. Let me see something. Let's make him a little bit bigger. There we go. So that she doesn't look so out of place. Now, right now, she is actually behind him, but we need it the other way around so that his arm will be around her back, right? So let's grab him. And we're going to put him in front of her or on top so that his arm goes around her now. Okay. All right. And there we have him sitting there. I'm going to bring him a little bit closer just because. And now let's go and find him a head. So again, we'll go back to File, Place Embedded, because we want all of these images to be embedded in our file. And I'm going to grab him a head. So if you scroll down, here's all the different men folks heads that you can choose from. And I'm going to grab this one here and click on place. And now he has the big head, which is not unusual. But we're going to make it a little bit smaller. So we'll drop it down. I'm going to drop it just a little bit more. And let me make sure this doesn't look too crazy. A little bit bigger. Hopefully that doesn't look too crazy. And now his head is actually on the back side of the shirt. I want it on the front. I want the collar to be behind his neck. So I'm going to drag this down behind him. And I'm going to ease this up some. There we go. All right. So now we have our couple sitting on the bench, looking absolutely adorbs. And in my personal opinion, I think they need a dog. So I also purchased the dogs that are on this page as well. See all the little puppies here? I think these are the right puppies that I purchased. So here are some puppies. We're going to find us a doggy to put there with them at the beach, because you can't be romantic at the beach without a puppy dog. So let's place embedded. And this is my couple on the bench, but I need to find the dogs. Let's make sure that yep, here they are. And here's our puppies. OMG, they're so cute. All right, let's see. These are like border collies, doggies. Oh, I wonder if we got a cinnamon in here. I'm sure we do. Oh, they even have the Shar-Pei. That's super cute. Here we go. This is close to a shepherd. That's what I'm trying to get. Is a shepherd doggy. That one has white. Our doggy doesn't have white. It's technically not a shepherd, but it's about as close as I'm gonna get, looks like. So this is a cute doggy. Let's grab this one. Wait a minute, what is this? No, that's not gonna work. Wait a minute, what about this doggy? Nope, that's not gonna work either. I'm gonna go back to this one. All right, and let's place us a doggy here on the beach. Him's a good boy. So I'll put him on her side, because this is a good protector doggy. And this doggy is there to protect and make sure that no extra hanky-panky goes on at the beach, right? Okay, so we have a couple here. We have a dog, all right? So that shows how you can get two different types of designs, like this one file with the couple, the bench, the beach background, the hair was one design, all in one. And then the dogs, you saw all the different dog breeds, that was a whole different design. And I took from that design and added to this design to create my own look. Now, the other thing that you can do with this, remember when I showed you the couple on the bench design, and they had the couple's names on the back of the bench, right? Well, you also can come to Creative Fabrica and you can get fonts that you like, right? So here are some really awesome fonts to scroll through and show you. I love this Lily Rose font. It's gorgeous. First Sight is super cute. There's Sprinkles. There's Homework, which right now is $1. Pinky Latte is $1 right now. You have Farmhouse, Butterfly. Look at all these absolutely. You will be scrolling fonts for days here as well. I love their fonts, and their fonts are absolutely phenomenal for sublimation. They're also great. A lot of them are also great for the Cricut and for cutting out SVGs, right? So keep that in mind when you're looking for some SVG fonts to use in Cricut. Now, like this one that says the Notebook, notice how it's feathery looking. I wouldn't use this one for the Cricut, because the Cricut will be trying to cut out all this white area. So I wouldn't do that one, but you could theoretically use this little thin font up above and this thin font below. You could use that with the writing tool with the Cricut, or you can cut it out. It's going to be some thin weeding, but you can cut this out on the Cricut as well. But this middle font, I wouldn't use that. But you get all three versions for the price of the font, okay? So when you look for a font for Cricut, look for especially these chunky fonts. Baby Giovanni should work. Be Yourself should work. Spicy Chicken definitely would work. Faithful even could work. But the butterflies and what is that, floral? Hold on, let's click on it and see. Yeah, like these flowers all around it, that's going to be a lot of weeding. A lot of weeding. It's a beautiful font, but that's a lot of weeding. So keep that in mind when you go to use some of this type stuff with your fonts, okay? Because you're already going to have to weed. Baby Girl would be awesome with the Cricut. Fairy Party would be. Hamburg would be. Coffee Milk even would work really well with the Cricut. So just keep that in mind. They have fonts on top of fonts on top of fonts. And again, all of them have the commercial license to go with them, right? So I did choose a font from here a long time ago. They had a font called Olivia. So I brought Olivia, installed it, and so now that's the font that I'm going to use on the back of this bench. Okay, so I'm going to come down this left-hand side of my canvas, and down towards the bottom right here, there's an option with the letter T. That's our text. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to click just a spot here in on my project, and I'm going to actually do this. Let's do happy, and I'm going to resize this. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to grab up at the very top, click on your move tool and move it down to the bench, and I'm going to make this smaller so that it fits on that slat. Okay. So you can resize it. Now notice the hanging down kind of technically doesn't work with the slat. So let me grab this. So see how the P comes down? It probably would work better if I didn't use a hang down letter, but I did. Oh, sorry, dude. I done moved him. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay. So there's our happy. And I'm going to put anniversary on the other side. So I'm going to Control C and Control V, which is copy and paste. And we're going to put anniversary. It's kind of big, so we're going to have to resize it. I'm going to resize both of them. Okay. And that's how you would use their fonts. That's how you would use their clip art, their images, and create your own design to sublimate on your own thing. This is off balance. Let's put another dog because that dog is throwing it off. Actually, you know what? We're going to take the doggy off. I just needed to show you how to put the doggy on anyway. So we're going to take that off. And now it's in balance again. So this would be a really cute coffee mug, or as I mentioned, canvas if you wanted to. I'm sure the canvas would do better if it was like the couple's actual picture. But a coffee mug, a keychain, I mean, it's any number of things that you could do to create this and have it look super cute for somebody. So we're going to go ahead and send this over to the printer and print this out. So let me switch you back over to the right camera. Ta-da! And I'm going to get this sent over to the camera. Actually, let me check the chat first, because if I go to the printer, I'm not going to be able to see. And make sure I'm answering questions. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Creative Fabrica has free designs too. Yes, they do. Thank you for pointing that out. Creative Fabrica, if you wait, you can get their memberships at a reduced rate as well. I've seen the all access go for as little as $13 a month. That is correct as well. They do often run sales. Simone Warren says, I love that website. It is a good website, but you get so lost scrolling and looking at all of the stuff. It's just overwhelming. Sheila Cushionberry says, I got the $1 a month trial with unlimited downloads and just downloaded many of the big bundles to give me some stuff to play around with. And then if I need more later, I can go back and get the monthly membership. That is an option as well. Lila Nelson, I purchased a bunch of bundles last fall when they had a sale. How do I store them to know what I have? So with Creative Fabrica, what I would suggest, just like I suggest with embroidery, create an embroidery file folder. One major, the main file folder says embroidery. That way you know everything in that file is for embroidery. I also have another main file folder that says rhinestones, and then I have another main file folder that says sublimation. So my Creative Fabrica graphics files that I just downloaded today will go into my sublimation folder, and you can create a subfolder in the sublimation folder that says Creative Fabrica, right? And just like we saw on Creative Fabrica, they had graphics, they had embroidery files, they had, you know what I'm saying? So you can do one that says illustrations, and you can do a subfolder that says people, you can do one that says dogs, or you can just leave all of your sublimation images that you purchase off of Creative Fabrica in the Creative Fabrica folder in the sublimation folder. You see what I'm saying? So that would be my way of doing it. Fonts, whenever you get fonts, I would just drop them into wherever all of your font files are kept, that are not embroidery related, that are TTF files. But organizing, that's how I would personally do it, because you want to know what you have that's for sublimation. You want to know what you have that's for rhinestones, for embroidery, for Cricut. I mean, you can, because my Cricut file says actually SVG, so we even have an SVG file folder. So that's how I would organize those personally. Where is she? Okay. Karen Dowling, yes, it is very addictive. Knick-knack nurse, yes, yes, yes. Black Friday had such an awesome deal. They are actually running a Valentine's Day deal right now. I'll look it up and see if I can find it, but they do have a Valentine's Day deal as well. Don't forget about designbundles.net. I haven't checked them out. Lila Nelson, yes, unzipping them, and you definitely set you an embroidery folder, sublimation folder, rhinestone folder, because if you don't, it does get overwhelming. My embroidery design folder is overwhelming for me because I constantly get designs and don't always put them where they're supposed to be. I'll download them and leave them in the downloads, and that's not what we're supposed to do. So I had a habit now lately of taking, whenever I download, it downloads to desktop, because as soon as I open up my laptop and I see my desktop, I'm like, oh, there's too much stuff on my desktop, and it forces me to put those files where they're supposed to be. So that's one of the tricks that I use. Hopefully it'll work. On Creative Fabrica, if you look to the top right and click on daily freebies, you will see each day 3 freebies, usually a font, an SVG, and a digital paper bundle. Sheila Cushionberry, thank you for that tip. That is totally awesome. I appreciate you pointing that out, because who doesn't like freebies, right? Allison Halloway says you make it look easy. It wasn't easy in the beginning, but I have been practicing with it and making things to sublimate. So it's a lot of fun. I love working with their illustrations. They actually make it easy. They have excellent designers there. Sheila Cushionberry says scooter body forward a bit, and I think the legs will look better. How come he went behind the bench, Allison? It was because the way Photoshop works, it works in layers. Okay, so wherever your layers, it's just like Cricut. It's just like with the Cricut machine. I don't know if you use Cricut in the design space or not, but there are layers there. So you can actually put your words on top of a shape, or you can put the words behind the shape. A lot of that depends on where the layers fall. So if your person is here and the bench is here, and you need the bench to be first, you just drag it up above the person in order to put the person in front of the bench. Okay. Hey, Gail Moore, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Hello, Miss Iris Diaz. How are you? At Carmen Alvarado, you're welcome. I love Creative Fabrica. They are totally awesome. Nora, can I make a font into an embroidery stitch? You cannot unless you know how to digitize, okay? If you learn how to digitize, you can, but according to a font digitizer that I work with, Stitchtopia, I refer you to her all the time, you guys to her all the time. According to her, you have to get permission from the font creator in order to digitize the font, especially if you're going to sell it. Now, if you're doing it for yourself, I don't think you have to, but I would check with the font creator anyway. But you have to know how to digitize in order to digitize a font. So there's that. I've been trying to sublimate logo labels. Today, realized I needed to download the software for the Epson to get setting right. Yes, logo looks good, but the wording looks heavy. What program are you using again to print out your designs? Because what I've found is when I do a print out using Photoshop and then do a printout using a Microsoft Publisher, because I used to use Publisher all the time. I've known Publisher most of my digital life, and some things that I would print out with Publisher just wouldn't turn out right. Whereas with Photoshop, it would be spot on because Photoshop has more control over colors, hues, saturations, stuff like that. And I mean, that's what that program is made for, is for photos and for photos to turn out looking good. So you may want to see what program you're using and dicker with the settings. Because there's different options available. Like for instance, if I get you guys back over to Photoshop to show you what that looks like here on my Photoshop, if I go to File and Print to print this, I have my Epson 7710, right? And under the print settings, I have it on Premium Presentation Paper Matte. Under the paper type, I use paper matte. Something about using that setting, when it prints, it puts down just enough ink to, or it puts down extra ink so that it will be a rich printout. But the way it does it for the matte paper, it helps it. I don't really know how to explain it because I'm sure there's a science behind however all of that works. But so far, I have yet to go wrong with the Premium Presentation Paper Matte option on my printer. And then I also, right here under Color Management, I tell it to let the printer manage the colors. And with these settings, normal printing, relative, colorimetric, I haven't had an issue with my prints yet. Now, sometimes I'll get, especially with reds, some images like older photos, it has a red hue, but I just play with my settings until I get it to print out right. So it could be whatever program it is that you're using to print with. You may have to, revisit that and get it to switch over to something different in order to have it print properly. Did you resize before sending to the printer after enlarging? No, I haven't sent it to the printer yet because I just happened to realize it's USB. So I'm having, I can take that camera off because it was echoing anyway. Gorgeous Rose, hello, Christine. Do I pay for Photoshop? I do. I pay monthly for Photoshop. Kathy Barker, no worries. Welcome. Sonia Siegler, I need help organizing files. Do you get one-on-one? You may not want to fool with me with organizing. Sonia, I'm sorry to admit to that, but no, at the time I actually don't do one-on-ones for organizing or instruction as of yet. Sonia Siegler says you have a Mac, and then too, on top of that, I am not familiar with the Macintosh at all. I have a cousin that has one, and she brought it, and I was lost. So I don't even know how to think about talking about a Macintosh. Nails Glittering Glam, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here with us. You're welcome, Leela. Shirley Stewart. I bought a mega bundle a couple of months ago, so now I get a free. You get free fonts and designs daily. That's what's up. See, that's what I like when you can get extra benefits. Kathy Barker. When I download a design, I always put it in a folder that I have set for that website. Excellent. So just like I said, you have a sublimation. If you wanted to do it this way, you have a sublimation folder because you know for sure everything in that folder has something to do with sublimating. And then you can have a folder, subfolder in the sublimation folder that says Creative Fabrica. And you know that that's where you got that design from. So if something happens and you need, or you want to find another design that matches that one, you can go back to that website and you know where it came from. Gail, does it take a special printer? It doesn't technically take a special printer. It just needs to take a printer that you can get empty ink cartridges for, that you can put your own ink in. Okay, and I know that was a mouthful. But right now, the Echo Tank printers, Epson carries a brand of printers now that are called Echo Tank. And the tanks of those printers are empty. So you would be able to put ink in those tanks, your own ink. And there's a couple of folks out there that sell sublimation ink with the special lid that you can use to fill the Echo Tank printers. Aside from that, the only other printers that we've been suggesting to people is like the 7710 or the 7720. Because those, we know there are empty cartridges out there that you can purchase aftermarket and fill them with sublimation ink and use them to sublimate on. Walk by Faith, good evening to you. Rhonda Jones, Joanna Holmes, you're welcome. Gail McNair, welcome to the three of you guys for joining us this evening. So I'm going to hook up my printer and then we'll resize that design and then print it out, and I'm gonna have to go to the printer and grab that off of the printer. I also have embroidery and sorry about that, and I'm new to sublimation and also set up files for those. Yeah, we can get into so many different things and sometimes it can be overwhelming because we do have access to so much and we do so much, but it can be maintained, it can be kept up with, but you will definitely have to work on organization in order to ensure that you can get it done, right? So resize it, that's right. So let me grab this and we're going to resize. Hold on. There we go. Do it this way. And let's drop this down to not percentage, please. Let's do inches. I'm okay with it. I need to find where I can 5x7. So it needs to come down to this, where I can learn how to set my measurements so it don't revert back to pixels. So that's where we'll go right here. We'll click OK. So there's that one. And that's 4x4. So I'm going to do this. And I'll drop you down a little bit more. Like that. And what size is this? We'll print that one in a minute. Okay, so I need to tell it to print and reverse. So again, when you do your printout, and especially if it has words, you need to do a mirror image or reverse it so that your lettering, once we go to press it, is going to show properly on the, put the heat press on the correct side of your printer. All right. Now I'm going to put you guys back onto Creative Fabrica, actually. And wait a minute, I told you I was going to see if they have a bundle. I'm pretty sure I saw that in my email. Pretty sure it was right here. I had so many emails. All right. Creative Fabrica. There we go. Oh, no. They're giving a free design. Okay. Right now, they're just giving a free design of gnomes, and they do have a free embroidery design of the week. So that's what I knew. It was a Valentine's Day something that they were running. I didn't know what it was. Let me see and make sure I'm looking correctly. Yes. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So let me put you, oop, where is it at? I'm going to link you guys to, oh, that is super cute. Oh my God. And it's 75 cents. Oh, I gotta show y'all this. This is adorable. Right now, this is 75 cents. Where are you guys? Let me put this in here. I'll put this in the description below as well, because this is really cute. If I keep at this, I'm just going to scroll through some of everything and it's going to be sad. But look at this. This is adorable. So it says house, kids, blessing, joy, everything, happy, laughter together, family, dogs, swings. This is gorgeous word art. And this one is on sale. I think it said it was $1 right now going on. So definitely check out their stuff. I have a link to that in the description. But yes, Creative Fabrica is total awesome sauce. So I'm going to go get this off of the printer and then we'll get back. But they have tons of stuff available. Let me grab this stuff. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait on it to print out because it was out of paper. Imagine that. So yes, this is Creative Fabrica, and I think you guys will absolutely love Creative Fabrica. So let me know if you do purchase from Creative Fabrica at some point in time, some of the designs, meaning whenever you do make a purchase from Creative Fabrica and make something, I would love to see it. That's what I was trying to say. So let me know if you do make something. I would love to see it. Where am I? Doing research on the sublimation printers. It's so confusing. It can be. It can be. The thing is, the easiest way to get into sublimation would be to buy a sublimation printer. There are several out there, but the thing is, usually the sublimation printers, the ink is so expensive. Okay, so the more economically friendly, the budget friendly version is just a regular Epson 7710 or 7720, which you can sometimes buy refurbished from off of Epson's website directly. And when you get it, then order the ink cartridges from a separate website such as Amazon Ink X Pro, or you can go to Cosmos Ink and purchase the cartridges there. Either way, you can get the cartridges that you need and the ink from either place. Fill the cartridges, and then you can use those to make your own sublimation printer. All right, but if you were to get something like a sublimation printer, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank, y'all. Sublimation printers, they have them. Sawgrass, I think, is the name of one. They have a couple of actual sublimation printers. They are more expensive though, but you don't have to you don't have to buy any cartridges. Your first sublimation printer will come with the sublimation ink. You don't have to do anything other than just buy your ink refills. Epson even has a sublimation printer from what I understand. It's not as pricey, I don't think, as the Sawgrass, but you can purchase one and then you don't have to worry about finding aftermarket ink cartridges. So there's a couple of ways to go about getting into sublimation. But again, the cheapest way, I think for me, the printer I bought at the time was like $160. The ink cartridges set that I bought, I think, was like $56. The ink, the 4 bottles of ink were like $25. Speaking of which, we're using some ink tonight for that I got off of Amazon, and I'll be linking them in the description below as well, because their ink is really good ink. Set that, because if I don't, it'll beep and get on her nerves. So there's several options of what you can do to get into sublimation, but either way, a lot of it is, pretty much how much you have to invest into it, and how serious you are about getting into it. Because if you're just doing for hobby or not really doing mass volume, the simple do-it-yourself home version is actually really good. But if you're going to get into like the Sawgrass or, those big dog machines, that's for folks that are going to be doing sublimation, on a more permanent basis and making, pretty decent money off of it. That is where I am. Leslie Ram says, what, in trying to figure out sublimation printers? If that's what you're saying, let me know. Rhonda Jones says, what is a good type of paper to use for sublimation printing? I always use A-Sub. A-Sub has been my go-to. I haven't had any issues out of A-Sub. It's on Amazon. Usually I can get it here at the house within a day or two. I use the 120G, I think, is the weight of the paper that I use. I'll double check when I go get the printout off of the printer. I use A-Sub. I've tried other options. Of course, right now I can't think of the name of it, from a sublimation company in Charlotte, but it's a popular name. I've tried theirs. It's okay. I didn't particularly care for how sometimes it stuck to my blank. I didn't like that. I don't ever have any issues out of the A-Sub. So I love the A-Sub paper personally. Did you turn? Yes, I just turned the heat press back on. I've seen embroidery file organization templates, so I would think that you could find some for SVG sublimation. That sounds cool. I didn't think about a template. Miss Alila says, this COVID has to go so we can get together for a weekend retreat and help each other with these questions. That would be fun. That would be fun, because as you know, COVID came and wrecked the cruise. So yeah, that was a pain. Leslie Graham says, what printer? Yeah. So that's the thing, knowing what to get. and it can be confusing. And what I'll do before we leave the show is I'll go out and show you one website where you can see the different brands that these cartridges would fit, and those are some options of printers that you can get, because it doesn't have to um, uh, do that. um, I need to hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to do something. And I'll do this while I go get that off the printer. Not for the F570, they are $17.99 each. Epson has the F170, which is an 8.5 by 11, and it's 400. First Last says that there are echo tanks on Etsy, which is good to know. Rhonda Jones, thank you. Here's one. She converted her Epson WF2850 printer to a sublimation printer. So there's a 2850, which will be much less than the Workforce 7710, which is what I have, or the 7720, which is the companion to my printer, but it has 2 trays instead of just 1. So if you are in here tonight and you have a sublimation printer that isn't the Workforce 770 version, 77 plus version, or you don't have the Sawgrass, let us know what printer you have that you converted. That's the information I need, because I don't know all of the printers that are out there. There's a lot of them actually that many people have converted, and some aren't even Epson. So if you have a printer and you want to list it, let us know what you converted. Let us know in the comments below and where you got your cartridges from. And that will help others out in the group. If you have a Sawgrass, put that you have a Sawgrass. If you have another sublimation printer that's not Sawgrass, put that in the chat as well, if you don't mind, please, because I really want people to know the other options that are out there, other than what just I have, because I could not swing the Sawgrass. That was not in my budget. I don't sublimate enough for that, so that's why I chose to go the El Cheapo route and just convert the 7710. There we go. Let's do this. And I'm going to go get that off of the printer. All right. And let's see. Did it print? Yes, it did, girl. Woo! This is cute. OMG. All right. So hopefully that won't print red. All right. So I have this off of the printer. And we have the dreaded clicking of the heat press. All right. And here is our printout. I did 2 different sizes because we're going to play with something with this one hopefully shortly. And then here is the larger one that, let's see if it's going to fit. Yes it is. So we're going to put this on canvas. So how do you sublimate on a canvas? Actually, you know what, before I get into that, let me scroll. So the Sugar Bee Gifts, Decor, and More. She did sublimation video. We'll definitely have to check that out. Kathy Shorter has the Epson 7720, and she uses Cosmos ink. And Ma Bickham, I sent you a message if you hadn't seen it yet. Let's see. Where am I? I'm right here. Okay. A-sub have not had a problem. Oh, I was supposed to look and see what weight the paper was that I used, because I don't think it's on the paper. Yeah, it's not on the paper, but it does show A-sub on the back, so that's what I use. AJ Silveri has the Sawgrass 500. Could you explain the sublimation? Had a friend tell me they would. they would peel off. Try to explain to them about it. Okay, so sublimation. Well, let me get to that. Miss Leila Nelson has the Epson Echo Tank 2720 that has tanks, only $1.99, and got ink from Cosmos. Scooby-Doo, thank you. Sublimation ink turns into a gas and it embeds into the fabric or the hard surface and it cannot peel. So I'm trying to think of a good analogy that would help you understand sublimation, but we'll have to see. Gail Moore has the Sawgrass 500 as well. Tanya says the Epson 4700 with Cosmos ink, and she also has the Sawgrass 400. Kathy Shorter, oh my gosh. Okay. Has the Epson XP 440. Had the tanks on the outside of the printer. That's the continuous ink supply system, which I have that. Worked great. The only thing, it was only 8 by 11. And that's the drawback of some of the lesser expensive printers. They will only do up to a certain size, whereas the 7720 and the 7710 both go to 13 by 19. And that was, I wanted to make sure I could go as big as I possibly could for the least amount of price. And so that's why I did that one. Chris Gotsmanov, I have the Epson 2720 Echo Tank. Sean A converted the Epson ET 3710. I use Cosmos ink. I also use the container that came with the printer. Emptied the original ink first, cleaned the containers, and then filled with sublimation ink. Kathy Barker says that's what I tried to explain to them. And it's kind of difficult, especially if they can't actually see the process taking place. So it's kind of hard to explain sometimes. Miss Andrea Ross has the Sawgrass SG1000. Mary Brown, I have a Sawgrass, but it does not want to recognize my Mac, and I don't have a PC to dedicate to the printer, so I rarely use it. Oh no, that's tragic. So that's good for people to know that Sawgrass and Mac kind of can conflict, so that's not good. Sean A says Epson 3710. What about the Echo printer at Costco? Yes, you can take that, but you have to fill it with, don't put the ink that comes with the printer. You have to use sublimation ink. So Cosmos ink actually has the ink lids that help fill the Cosmos ink cartridges. You did get it? Okay, thanks, Mom. So yes, you can use that printer at Costco. You can. Daryl, hey Daryl, what's up? Madeline Padilla, hi, watch you all the time. Welcome, thank you for joining us. She converted a Workforce 2730 to a sublimation printer. Yes. Epson Workforce 7710 with the continuous ink system. I wish I could show you a picture of the continuous ink system. I'll have to, with it hooked up and everything. So what I'll do, if I don't forget, is I'll put a picture of it up on our hoop group on the website and on Facebook. Screen print and transfers lay. You gotta, yes, love that. Screen print and transfers lay on top of the fabric like a coat of paint. Sublimation is more like red wine or Kool-Aid. It gets absorbed by the fibers. You gotta be kidding. That was a perfect analogy. I appreciate that. You spill red wine or Kool-Aid, it's a permanent part of that fabric. Once it dries, you can't feel the difference with the fibers, unless it's sugary, of course. But that's what the deal is with sublimation. With, as was mentioned, screen printing and using vinyl transfers, it lays on top of the fabric. All right, you can use it on cotton. So the screen print you can print on cotton. Vinyl, you can press the vinyl onto the cotton, and I'm going to show you something similar with that. But with sublimation, you have to use polyester, but the polyester fabric fibers absorb the ink gas. It's the craziest thing. Somebody stumbled on it and it's just been awesome ever since. So those fibers actually, once it gets heated, but it has to be heated up so close to 400 degrees, the ink will turn into a gas. That's why it's called sublimation, because usually when a liquid is heated like that, or when, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied, and we getting into science. So ink will turn, it'll skip a state. So usually when one thing turns into another, there's states that it follows. But with this instance, it turns into a gas, and that gas, the polyester absorbs it, and it becomes a permanent part of it. Sublimation, you cannot feel it. So once you press it to your fabric, for instance, you can't tell the difference in the fibers, what was printed on and what wasn't, because it's a permanent part of this polyester. And as I mentioned, you can about bleach it and it won't come out, right? So in order to do that to something like canvas is not polyester. So you have to put a polyester coating on top of it. Same with glass. I had hoped we would have time, and we may, I don't know, we'll have to see. But these ceramic coasters, these coasters are like 20 cents at Lowe's. Some coasters you can even get for 10 cents. This is ceramic, and it's coated with glaze. You cannot sublimate on this. But if you get a poly coating and put it on here, you can sublimate on this coaster. You can sublimate on it. And let's show you that. Same with this. These little glass cutting boards from Dollar Tree, same principle. You can put a poly coating on it, and then you can sublimate on this, and then have the top part with it showing through. It's just amazing. So let's show you what that looks like, okay? So in order to take a canvas from Dollar Tree, you have to use a laminate pouch, okay? You have to use a laminate pouch. Let me get all of this moved so that I can show you. Now, there's a couple of options out there. There are some options available on Amazon. I want to say these I purchased from Walmart. Okay, these are Scotch brand. They're thermal laminating pouches. These are 8.5 by 11. Okay, so these I got from Walmart. It comes with 100 pouches in it, but for us who sublimate, that translate into 200 pouches, and we'll show you why, because you're going to cut them in half. Okay, this sublimation lamination pouch, rather, this I got from Sam's Club. Okay, it's by stitch. It's 8.5 by 11 as well. I can't remember what I paid for this. It wasn't a whole heck of a lot. And I got it from Sam's. This one has 200 pouches in it. So for us, that translates into 400 pouches. Okay. So let's pull out one from the Scotch, since it's already open. And I'll show you. Matter of fact, let me do this too while I'm thinking about it. Let's see. So this pack from Sam's was $19.82. And then this Scotch pack, if you get it from Sam's, this one is, wait a minute, I don't think this is the right. Yeah, letter size. Okay, so this one is $15.18 if you get it from Sam's. Oh Lord, so I must have another pack somewhere that's open. This one doesn't look like it's open, but we'll get it out anyway. Okay, So here is a lamination pouch. And the reason why, if you are, I am 44, so those of you who are around about my age, remember in school when the teachers used to laminate their papers and stuff that they wanted to last a long time. So that's why it's a pouch. You put your piece of paper in there, and then you close it over, and of course it would be the same size as this. This is too big, obviously, but and then you would run it through the lamination machine, and it would sandwich it and then close it in the plastic so that it would last for forever, right? Okay, so same principle. However, for us, we're not going to use it as a pouch. We tear this apart, okay, because both sides laminate. So you open it up and you can pull it apart just like that. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. And this one side of that lamination pouch can laminate, how many canvases can we fit on here? So you can put 2 canvases for sure, 2 5x7 canvases with this one piece. So what I did when I was doing my, because this one already has the lamination on the front. Let me see if this one does. This one does not. See how this one is rough? This is actual canvas, whereas this one is shiny. Okay? Because this one's laminated, but this one isn't. So I took the time and tore apart several of the sheets and cut them down ahead of time because I was going to work on a project, a photo project for my wall with a bunch of the different 5x7 canvases, different pictures. And so I went ahead and cut them out in square, in the shape and size for my canvas. And what you do is you put your, take your canvas, and then you take your lamination page, and then you lay it on to your canvas just like so. And then you press it for about 380, 385 degrees for about 30 seconds. And it will adhere to your canvas. Okay. You definitely want to put butchered paper on top. And when you take it out, it's going to be hot. Okay. And it's going to kind of warp a little bit as it cools. So what I like to do is take it out and sandwich it between something heavy like a book or something like that so that it will be flat as possible as it cools, and let it cool flat. Okay, so keep that in mind. And you kind of want to do that too once you sublimate on the surface of your canvas. All right, there are tons and tons and tons of videos that will help you get this right when you're sublimating. I don't really want to take the time to do that this evening, but it can be done like that. Okay. I do. So let us cut that out so that it'll fit. Does it matter which side to lay directly against the canvas? Yes, it does, Willa Allen. It does. And unfortunately, right now, it's escaping me what side that is. Whether it's the glossy or the matte. I want to say you put the matte side down, but I will double check that before I commit to that answer. I don't know if anybody noticed or not, and I've mentioned it in the Facebook group, but I've been painting, so if you see the white that's in my hair, I dropped the paint container and paint did just like this, and it went all over. And I have a glorious picture on Facebook that you can see the end results of it, because it was way worse than what it is now. All right, so they directly against the canvas. That was that. Thought she said you couldn't. Okay, you was talking to Scooby-Doo. Oh, okay. Kathy Shorter says, Scooby-Doo, do you know a sublimation paper for dark fabric? Did she answer that? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Yes, now you can go to dyetrans.com and they sell canvases that are made for sublimation. However, tonight we're just pretty much showcasing the Dollar Tree stuff. If you want to just practice until you get it right, that's what this stuff is. Also the tiles, they sell tiles that you don't have to put any lamination to it in order to laminate tiles. Dyetrans.com is awesome sauce for that. Tonight we're working with the Dollar Tree stuff and also showing the Creative Fabrica stuff off. That was the purpose for tonight. So what I'm going to do, since I've already laminated this, I'm going to go ahead and put our transfer on it, and I'm laying it on the top, as you see, face down against the canvas. This is the back of the canvas, this is the front. Normally I would tape this, but of course I don't have my tape out here, which I don't think we'll need it anyway. But most importantly, parchment paper. I get this from Sam's Club. They come two a pack for like $8, 2 rolls, and this stuff is awesome. I use it faithfully. All right, so for me, I like to put a piece below and a piece above. That's just to protect my heat press, as well as to make sure that it doesn't get on anything else, the heat press or anything else. Do you use laminate sheets for the glass plate from Dollar Tree? Yes, you have to use laminate on glass. You have to use laminate on glass because glass does not sublimate. You can, technically, Kathy, you cannot sublimate a dark shirt. Technically, you cannot sublimate a dark shirt. I don't care what anybody says. Now, the reason why I say technically is because there is a way to put sublimation on a dark shirt, but you have to sublimate on something else first. The exact same way I'm showing you that in order to sublimate on this canvas, because canvas is not polyester, it's not made out of polyester. So we're adding this laminate sheet and fusing it to the front of this canvas because the laminate sheet is made out of a polyester type material. So that's why we have to laminate the canvas first. There's also some coatings that you can buy, but that's not the easy way to do it. The easiest way is to just get a lamination sheet and apply it to the canvas. All right. Same principle with a dark shirt. With a dark shirt, notice that this laminate properties. There we go. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. All right, so I don't know where you guys lost me, unfortunately, but so just like this laminate is clear, you can take forget that. You can take a black polyester shirt. Technically, you can sublimate onto black, but you're not going to be able to see it because the shirt itself is dark and it's absorbing the ink and you're not going to be able to see it. That's why when you sublimate, we sublimate on white items because sublimation ink is just like a regular printer. You can only print in black, blue, red, yellow, and the combination of those 4 colors creates your images, right? So on this picture, how did we get the white shirts? How did we get the white shirts in this picture? I don't have white ink in my printer. So what the printer does is it uses this white background to outline and create the white shirts. Okay, that's with any inkjet printer. You don't have white ink. None of your printers have white ink. You can buy white toner printers that have white ink, but that's not how the sublimation works. Okay, so if you need to print a white shirt on a if you need to print a white image on a black shirt, it's not going to work because the background of the black is going to fill in here. So your sublimation has to use the white background of whatever it is that you're sublimating to create the white. So if we printed this image on a white shirt, they will have white shirts. If we sublimated this on a pink shirt, a light pink shirt, their shirts will be light pink because there's no ink right here. So it's going to take on your background. Do you understand? So in order to sublimate on black, you have to have a white substance, a white something under your sublimation in order to see your white parts of your designs. Okay, so in order to do that, you can take white vinyl or glitter vinyl for that matter, white, and sublimate onto that on the shirt. So you have to have a layer of something in between that black in order to sublimate on it. Okay, shiny side down, Merlinda, thank you. I hope that made sense. It's kind of difficult to explain without what am I trying to say, without an example sitting right here that I normally could show you. But I do have videos, more lives like this on sublimation that go into it, and I have examples where it makes more sense and you can see. But today you can't sublimate on black without having something white behind it to make that color stand out. Okay, did my sound leave again? I don't think it did. Let me check. Nope, I still see me talking, so it should be there. All right, so let us sublimate on that canvas. All right, I'm going to layer this. Whoops. It's not going to be perfect, y'all, because I don't have any tape on me, and we're just playing around with it anyway. And I'm going to slide this on the heat press, and we're going to let this cook for 60 seconds. And let's lock this down. All right, so that's the sound flicker, but good. Okay, glitter with sublimation is nice. I do like using the glitter vinyl with sublimation. The only problem is to make a dude shirt or somebody that doesn't like glitter is a no-go. So Scooby-Doo says I want perfection. I do too, but guess what? The way this Sunday is acting up, I don't think we're gonna get it. What I did want to do, we're not gonna have time, but I wanted to try and sublimate on a tile, and we'll see if we can get that going. And then too, how about this heat press? The timer sucks. It's like you set it for 60 seconds and it actually counts down in like 40. How? Why? So you're gonna hear it beeping. Let me tell it to shut up. You have to sublimate on white or light color. You do have to. Now you can sublimate on a darker color. For instance, I have a red shirt that I sublimated, and when I say red, I'm talking about like this color red here, but I sublimated black. Black can sublimate on that perfectly fine. So it was just a word in black writing. That works great on dark colors. So if you have a color shirt, sublimating dark or black on it works great. But if you have something that you want of a lighter color, you really want to do a white shirt. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't care for with sublimation, unfortunately. So let's swing that away, which I should have did to begin with to make my life easier. And whoo, this is hot. So here is our canvas, and as you see, the color is, I looked at it and said it was going to be more red than what it was, but this is sublimated on canvas. And Miss Scooby-Doo is not perfect because I dropped it down too low, but it's all right. The whole point is to show how it works. So here is our transfer. And if you'll see how it's lighter, see how the square, you can see where the square is, the border of where I had the canvas, that's because it's lighter right in here because our polyester sucked the ink from this section in here. So you can see where it actually turned into a gas and was absorbed into the polyester. Okay, that poly coating. So yes, you can see what the sublimation process is and how it works. And again, this is on that lamination paper or lamination plastic because it's made from a poly-based material. So it absorbs the ink. Okay. How long would that image last? Does the laminate crack as time goes by? With laminate, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pretty to me. Do me and Chris next. I sure will. I actually have not ever done one and just sat and watched it over time. I don't know. I really have no clue how long it will last. I haven't had any. I'm in multiple sublimation groups. Have I ever had anybody complain and say that this laminate cracks and nobody likes it and all that? I've never had anybody say anything about that ever. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it should last a really heck of a long time, but I've never heard of anybody complaining about it cracking or anything. Joining late, what heat press do you have? Is a clamshell or swing away gizmo and gadget? I have a swing away. It's an El Cheapo swing away from off of Amazon, but it works. First time catching us live, usually watch the replay. Kay, welcome. Thank you for joining us. K0816IFY. Love having you here. Avery Head, hello. Caesar Easy Subly. Yes, will work. Easy Subly is made for sublimating on dark fabrics and cotton fabrics, okay? Because you can't sublimate on cotton by itself. You have to have a polyester coating somewhere in order to sublimate on cotton. You have to have it. You have to have a polyester coating on glass, on ceramic, on wood. You can do the same lamination on glass, on wood, on cotton. You can do it. You can sublimate, but you have to have this coating first. And this is one of the easiest ways to coat the material is with that lamination paper. Okay. Is Easy Subly similar to inkjet transfers? No, it is not in Blackwood. So Easy Subly is like vinyl. It's like when, you know, regular vinyl t-shirts where people cut out the different color vinyls and words and whatnot and put them on shirts, press them to shirts. Vinyl, that's what Easy Subly is. But inkjet transfers are inkjet transfers. There, it depends on which brand you get. Some inkjet transfers, there's a coating that you use, and inkjet is not sublimation ink. So inkjet can go with their basic coating that they have. It'll press to the shirt and you'll see the transfer of the coating. Like usually it's a square. You do a printout, and when you press it to the shirt, you'll see the outline of the coating that comes off from the transfer paper, right? But sublimation, it has to be a vinyl substance. Polyester substance. It has to be some kind of like polyester. Youngsters clothing, we're doing good. Shonda Coleman, I have the Epson 2720. Yeah, for Christmas, just got the sublimation ink for it this week. You will have fun. Yes, you will. You definitely will. Some items you try to sublimate will not work well with a clam shell. That is correct. Especially images like or items that are bulky, like for instance, what am I trying to say? Like a canvas, for instance, that is not flat, it would be difficult to press that with a clamshell because the swing away comes straight down, whereas the clamshell comes like this. And it can, if it doesn't adjust high enough on the back end, it won't have full even pressure to come down all the way across the front. Man, I'm talking all kinds of science and math and stuff. This is crazy. I have to get my printer back on the road. So what I wanted to do was sublimate through the tile, on the tile. The problem with sublimating on tile is you have to lay it down and you have to get the laminate to attach by heating the whole tile. So it takes some minutes. Matter of fact, let me check. You have to do for 6 minutes in order to get this to adhere to this. It takes much longer because it's much thicker. And in order to get this to wrap all the way around, you have to do it face down and like cushion it in the cushion of the heat press. Sometimes even using the pressing pillow or oh God, what is it called? Silicone mat. There's a special mat that you can get and let it wrap around, and then you sublimate on the surface afterwards, after it cools off. I have the Epson 7720 and I'm blowing it up with sublimation. I love my 7710. There are some people that complain about it. I don't understand how or why. I love my 7710. I really do. For the price. And the thing is, with sublimation, when you convert a printer, you really need to be printing something out with that printer at least once a week. You really need to keep the ink flowing in those printers. And unfortunately, what some people do is they will just let it sit and not sublimate with it, and the ink dries up in those pathways, and that's not good. It ends up tearing up. Doing a tile, is that similar to doing a tumbler? No, it's a little bit different because a tile is so thick and it's flat, first off, because a tumbler is not flat. So a tumbler, you either have to, in most instances, they will do in a vacuum chamber heater or in the convection oven or a mug press. So that is what you would do with the tumbler, whereas the tile is flat. So by doing the tile, you just lay it face down and then heat the tile from the bottom. Put the heat press comes down onto the tile and the tile is face down, and you let the heat from the tile permeate and let it melt that laminate around the edges of the tile so that it'll be a nice smooth transfer when you do finally press your image to the tile. I don't have one already done. I really wanted to do that tonight, but we've been explaining so much and I ran out of time. You're welcome, Yolanda Hooks. Microfiber car towels, the real, yes. I suggest that all the time. That's what I mentioned at the very beginning of the show. These microfiber washcloths, the microfiber car washing towels, the white ones, they're perfect, absolutely perfect for testing and trying out sublimation. And I mean, honestly, making kids washcloths, right? You know how you go to the Dollar Tree and they got that little freeze-dried pack of a washcloth, and you put it in water and it comes loose, and it's a towel, and it's got images on it like Minnie Mouse and superheroes, blah, 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 right? You can make your own. 25 cents. There's 4 rags in this thing. So you open it up, press your kid's picture, or if your grandson, like mine, was into dinosaurs, I put dinosaurs on it and his name. That's his own personal washcloth, right? Easy to put this together and put in a kid's present. Easy. You could make a killing selling these to people's kids. You know, not to the kids directly, but hey, do you want a customized towel for your kid? Come on, y'all. Don't sleep on this money. Don't sleep on this money. I be telling y'all now. I be turning y'all on to some stuff, and the ones that listen, y'all been making money. So you could easily do a little washcloth, or you could even make this into a makeup remover rag and put makeup on it. Or I've seen where some people have a rag for their face and one rag for their body. You could do that as well. Put face and body on a different rag. There's a whole list of things you can do with these. Whole list. Even if, what else do you use washcloths for? You can put glass cleaning only. You can put wiping the dog's feet only. You know what I'm saying? There's any number of things. If you can think of something that you would use a washcloth for, then you can sublimate on it and make it special for just that and sell it. I've even seen people use these, and they did a memorial thingy where they put the deceased image on there in memory of, and thank you for coming to date, and all of that jazz, and they gave them to people at the funeral. I mean, everyone usually at funerals are sad, and they could be used as a grieving cloth. I mean, there's a whole list of stuff you can do. 25 cents each. Y'all sleeping on it. I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot of stuff at Dollar Tree. A lot of stuff. When you sell all sublimated items, how do you price them? A lot of it, Allison, is based on your time and energy that you're putting into it. For instance, if you know that you're doing, let's do a for instance, you're going to give a party, hopefully not during COVID, but you're going to do a party for your kid, and you're doing favors, okay? And say your kid has a not Paw Patrol, because that's licensed. So let's say your kid likes tractors and bulldozers and stuff, right? So you can do a tractor and bulldozer themed party. Well, you can take these and put tractors and bulldozers on them and give these to the kids as favors for the party so that they can, take a bath with them or whatever, right? But, and you can, that was a kind of a bad illustration, but we're going to jazz it up. It's not your kid, it's somebody else's kid, and you're selling them these as favors for the party. So you paid 25 cents for the rag itself. And the sublimation ink, printing it out, you could probably, this was a 17 by 11 sheet of paper. You can't do two, so I would say use the 13 by 19, and you should be able to fit two of these on the 13 by 19 without wasting too much of your paper. So take the price of your paper, kind of guesstimate the price of your ink. I would dare say you could probably sell each one of these for $1 each and still make money. I mean, you're already making money off the top because you only paid $1 for 4. So you sell this for $1, you're still going to make a little bit of money. And all you did was print tractors and bulldozers on the front. But if the same person came back to you before you made them and they're like, I know you said that I know I told you this is a tractor and bulldozer party and that we just wanted tractors and bulldozers on them, but I think it would be nicer if you put each kid's name on their washcloth. Okay, so tell me why the price went up. Because now you need a list of all of these kids' names, and instead of just printing off just pictures of tractors and bulldozers and then pressing each one generically, now you have to keep up with a list of names, change each name to fit on the cloth, press each one separately, and keep up with the list and make sure that you got everybody's name just right, spelled just right, the whole nine. And that's a lot more graphics work. Okay, that's where graphic works come in, and why illustrators and folks like that make so much money, because now you're doing custom work and each one is a custom towel. So now the price really needs to go up because you're putting extra work into each one. You see what I'm saying? So the price, knowing how to price it, you got to gauge not just your materials and your ink and your paper, but you also have to look at your time. and resources of what you're doing to print this out, right? Because you could actually just use any printing software, generic, nothing special. You could even just pull up the picture on your computer and print it out and put it on the towel. But in order to add the name, you may now have to use a graphics program like Photoshop or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's where you have to, you know, take the time to determine your price and figure out how you want to price accordingly. There are bath mats you can go get from Bed Bath & Beyond and sublimate on a bath mat and make money. Y'all, sublimation is awesome. Sublimation is the bee's knees of customization. There's so much you can do, so many options. And ultimately, in them links in the description below for Creative Fabrica, thousands and thousands and thousands of awesome illustration ideas that you can use to make money if you want to do so. You don't have to make money. You could just make some really cool gifts. Either way, you have so much at your fingertips at Creative Fabrica that is ridiculous. Please go and check them out. Please go and check them out. If you cannot find anything that you like on Creative Fabrica using because I'm an affiliate for Creative Fabrica, don't get it twisted. I'm mentioning this because I am an affiliate. I have links that link to me telling you guys to go check them out. And I'm not doing that just because, you know, I may get a kickback or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you because it's a ridiculous amount of awesome stuff they have there that you get overwhelmed. There's so much stuff. And I know for a fact their stuff is good quality. There's excellent ideas. Check them out. You will not be disappointed. If you can't find something you like, you let me know, because I'm going to have to call your bluff on that. There's something there for everybody. Everybody. So please check them out. Please check them out. They are awesome sauce. So I want to say thank you. My grands absolutely love the towels I did with their pictures on them. They couldn't believe they had their own personal towels. Simple, but they treasure it because Nana made it special for them. I'm trying to tell y'all, don't sleep on this money. Sheila Cushionberry, those would be cute if you took ribbon and added snaps to each end and corners of the rag and snap ribbon to each corner to make big girl boy bibs. That's an option as well. The dog images are cute, Nora, aren't they? I absolutely love them. What can I use to sub on blank puzzles that are not sub compatible? Oh, girlfriend, that's a tough one. And I'm going to tell you why that's tough. It's tough because you have to code it first in order to sublimate your picture, right? So if I were to take this and put it on a puzzle that's not sublimation ready, it's a blank white puzzle, you can do it, but what you'll end up having to do most likely is come back with a craft knife and cut through and follow the puzzle to cut the pieces apart so that you can use the puzzle later. Otherwise, this is going to fuse the whole puzzle together. You can do it, but that would be the only way to accomplish that, is to lay the sheet on the puzzle, and then after you attach the lamination to the puzzle, then I would say you could go ahead and put the picture on there next and then cut it out, or you can cut it out. But I would say do the picture first and then come back with the X-Acto knife, not the craft knife, the X-Acto knife, and cut through the channels of each puzzle piece to cut this apart so that you can have a real puzzle. Youngsters clothing, if it still uses a floppy disk, ooh, I don't know how to, you may have to go online and see if people have floppy disks with designs on them, or see if there is a floppy disk that a floppy disk attachment that you can attach to your computer now, even though it's retro back, and put designs on the floppy. But I really don't know what to tell you. But congratulations on the new machine. Scooby-Doo, thank you for ringing the bell, because did I ring the bell? No, it's still in there in the studio, and I'm shamed. I really am. So youngsters, I'm ringing a virtual bell for you, my dear. I really am. So I am going to go ahead. It's past 11 o'clock, unfortunately, and I apologize for going over, but I want to thank you all for joining us this evening and for watching us doing the sublimation. Can you put the link of those washcloths in Blackwood? The washcloths are Dollar Tree. Let me see, does Dollar Tree even have a link for those? Because sometimes they run, some Dollar Tree is finicky. There's stuff that they normally carry, they'll have links, but if they're not a normal thing, which normally they have the washcloth, so hopefully it's there. Let's see if they have them on their website. They do. They do, but it looks like you can't control what color you get. Yeah. So I can link you to their 4-count washcloths on their website. The only problem is you have to buy it by the case. You get 48 packs of washcloths per case, and you can't say what color you want. You can only get the colors they send, and it's assorted, and they come in black, blue, gray, tan, and white. Okay, so you could get, out of 48 divided by 5, you could probably get 8 of each color. And so white, you would only have 8 packs. It's better to go to the Dollar Trees and find them on the shelf, honestly. So, but I'll link it in the chat so that you can go see them. So yeah, I got the floppy disk reader to connect to the laptop, so just going through the learning curve, actually loading them to the actual machine. So fingers crossed it works, but I'll upgrade it ASAP. That's good to know. Thank you for letting us know, and let me know how it goes in either the Facebook group or in the hoop group on thebabiesbooty.com. The real says you'd be better off going to the store. That is absolutely correct. You know, unfortunately, mainly because they send it assorted, and there's nothing you can do about that, and that's the part that kind of bums you out. So thank you guys for joining me. I hate I didn't really get around to some of the other stuff, because I'm gonna show you something else I thought about trying. I don't know if it's gonna work because of the high heat of the heat press, but I thought about trying this here. Thought about sublimating it. I'm sorry, laminating it first, then cutting out the little doodads right there in the middle, and then trying it just to see. But I don't know, I may have to do that private on my own. So that if it melts it, I won't be super embarrassed. But I'll let you know how it goes either way when I do try it. I doubt I'll be trying it tonight, but we'll let you know when I do try it. But I appreciate you guys for joining us this evening. It was a lot of fun. I love sublimation. Sublimation, that's gonna melt. I'm sure it will, but the real, one of the funniest things about me is I tend to push the limits on stuff, and I want to see what can work and what can't. So I'll give it a shot anyway, just to see. And if it does, so be it. If it doesn't, we got something new we can sublimate. So yeah, they do make metal ones, but they don't make white metal ones that we can sublimate. Ah, hilarious. We'll have to see, Sheila Cushionberry. We'll figure it out. I mean, worst case scenario, you could do vinyl and sublimate on the vinyl and make a sticker out of it, I guess. So we'll see. But at any rate, you guys have a, Nora, that's a good point. I'll have to try that out. You guys have a great night. I look forward to seeing you around in the hoop group, either on Facebook or on our website, thebabiesbooty.com. I'm also on Instagram. Not sure if you guys know that or not, but if you're on Instagram, go on out to Instagram and look for The Baby's Booty and link there as well. I often post there. But meanwhile, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Please stay safe. Have fun with your crafting. And for those of you who embroidery, happy embroidery. I need to come up with something better to say, because not everybody does embroidery. But it's all right. I enjoyed hanging out with y'all tonight and look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks. Bye.